Good evening, Lizzie boys, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I have something very, very interesting to show you all. So a couple days ago on my community tab, I posted a picture of my formerly my inbox My Scene Lindsay Lohan doll. I asked you guys what you thought I was trading her for because I shared that I was trading her with someone. And you guys gave a lot of guesses, most of which I think may have been a joke. I think the Hisfit Storylized ones were a joke at least. I hope you guys know I'm smarter than trading a doll worth $150 for one that's worth like $25. So yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at the package and what I traded my Lindsay Lohan for. So here we have the box. It is a little dented, but I'm just attributing that to the fact that this box was reused and also came here from England, so let's just hope the stuff inside is safe. I don't know where to open this. I'm gonna assume if I cut here, the box will open, so let's just roll with that. All right, I've cut all the tape, and now the box opens like a book. For the most part. Okay, yeah, this box is put together. We still have more tape to cut, and now we got the money shot, and I ripped the box even further. All right, one more, and everything is wrapped up very nicely. All right. I don't even know what to grab first, so I'm just gonna grab the biggest. Okay, everything's got labels on it. I'm just gonna grab the thing I want to show you guys first. So we're just gonna peel this back, and we're gonna take out the thing, one of the things at least, because it is more than one thing that I traded Lindsay Lohan for to answer the big question. So here we have, I'm hiding the tag just because I don't want you guys to see it yet, but you can probably tell what this is already. It's clearly a Draculaura. This is a Iridescent Draculaura factory sample, as you can see. I figured I may as well show the very nice handwriting on the things. There's no reason to hide it. And also I already ripped it, so yeah. All right, lots of bubble wrap to unroll here. But right away you may notice that this just seems to be a standard Iridescent Draculaura, but little do you realize, by nature of her being a factory sample, she is in fact significantly different from the released doll. And once we get this off, you will see how and why. This Draculaura, being a factory sample, features the China screening rather than the Indonesia screening that she was released with. But that's not all. This doll also has many hand-painted elements to her face. It's a little difficult to see on camera, but there are brush strokes in her makeup. The glitter also appears to be hand-applied, and the cheek heart is also hand-painted as well. It's kind of difficult to show you guys these things, but this is one of the main things that I traded my Lindsay Lohan for. She also comes with all of her accessories. For comparison's sake, I've brought over my own Iridescent Draculaura, which I already had. This one is the released version. As you can see, different face. This is the China screening and this is the Indonesia screening. Another way you can tell that she's hand-painted is the lip color. It's the salmon pink that I believe is her basic doll, making me believe that this was the basic Draculaura before being repainted in some ways to become the Iridescent doll. Their lip colors are different, and they also have a different eye makeup color underneath the eye, with this doll's being darker than the final releases. So yeah, a whole lot of different things there, but another one that I've just noticed is that this appears to be a resin sample. It's a very hard plastic and does not bend, unlike the release doll's collar, which is very stretchy and bendy, you know? This thing, you can move it however you want. So yeah, I believe that piece is sculpted and hand-painted, most likely. Same with the earmuffs. They appear different and also are made of a much harder plastic and also appear not smaller, but these are slightly bent out of shape, so that is one other little detail. Their shoes are also different. This doll's appear more pink, whereas this one has a more solid white. I believe the shoes are hand-painted. There's a big number of this doll's pieces that were either hand-painted or painted differently than the final dolls. But yeah, this is our first prototype for the video, because there's more. Our next item is also Draculaura related. It is a Monster High Cutopia factory sample plushie. But Count Fabulous, in addition to being a factory sample, is also entirely unreleased. As far as I know, and I did a lot of research to see if this plushie had ever been sold anywhere, this plushie never came out. They released in the first wave, it was Draculaura, Frankie, Claudine, and Crescent, and then Twyla joined the lineup, and now Cleo has been rolling out into stores. But Count Fabulous has never been seen anywhere, so this one is unreleased as of right now, and probably may stay that way. So here is Count Fabulous, freed from the bag, and he is super cute, and as I mentioned, he is a factory sample. The tag says sample only. Compare that to a released plushie like Twyla, whose tag has a bunch of information on it. Also, this tag is made out of a kind of silk feeling material compared to this, which is paper. A thick cardstock. And also, they're supposed to have this Monster High tag, which Count Fabulous also lacks, again, due to being a sample. Count Fabulous is also slightly larger than the other plushies, which makes me wonder if originally the other plushies were going to be larger. I'm not sure, but this plushie is super cool. I really think the face is adorable, and I'm happy to have him. Oh, Lizzie, did you really trade Lindsay Lohan for 2 samples? No, I traded it for 3 samples, because this is our 3rd one. This is the Claudine Fashion Studio set. Here is Fashion Studio Claudine. I think her hangers might be hand-painted as well as the other accessories in this bag, because her shoes have the same glossy sheen to them. And when you look inside, the shoes are blue. The shoes, I believe, were painted and sealed. They're not supposed to be blue inside like that, so these are in fact hand-painted accessories. Very cool. And I think the shoe is also hand-painted. You can't see the blue inside from here, but again, same glossy sheen. So, due to this Claudine being a sample, her hair is obviously very nicely kept, very curled, and she also has hand-painted makeup as well, which differs from the final doll. You can probably see it in how messy her upper eye makeup looks. She's got green makeup in her crease. And let me grab my release doll for comparison's sake. The final release version of this doll features much more color in her makeup. She's got like a bright purple underneath her eye, in addition to dark purple, pink, and a light purple, the same one under her eye being in her crease, and this one has green in the crease. I also think her nose is hand-painted because it just looks not like that. So I think they might have hand-painted her nose on. Maybe they wiped it off by mistake or something. But yeah, so that is the Claudine. I think she's pretty cool. Also, I think her belt might be hand-painted again. They do not look the same. This one looks like it's got paint on it, and this one does not, because it doesn't. Another notable detail is that her jelly shoes are a very hard plastic. And the reason I call these jelly shoes usually is because they look like jelly, but also because they typically feel very soft, leading me to think that these may be some sort of alternate material used due to the nature of this being a prototype. So yeah, this Claudine is pretty awesome. I admit sometimes I forget this set exists, but having this like unreleased makeup for her is pretty awesome. Also, this doll noticeably lacks her piercings. She's supposed to have ear piercings to wear the earrings the set comes with, so this one is special and does not have them. I was told that with the way G3 prototypes are produced now, that it's not uncommon for them to spray paint accessories when doing prototypes like this, so there's a chance some of the things in here may be spray painted. Just a little fun fact there. I'm sure you guys are wondering where I got this stuff, and I kinda can't tell you because the vendor asked me to remain anonymous. We traded, but I did also buy a few things. These 3 are the things that I traded my Lindsay Lohan for. Also, there are her accessories in here, but I don't know if I want to open them currently. I might do it later in the video, but for now we're just going to leave these and move on to our next batch of stuff, the stuff that I actually paid for. Our next sample is pretty cool. We have a Creepover Party Twyla, and we have this super cool, like, display stand that was with her, where she was displayed in the factory. Alright, so here it is. It is a Twyla body. Unfortunately, there is no head, and this body is extremely fragile because it is a fully hand-painted body. Her knee joint actually broke and is currently glued together, hence the big splint type thing, like the cast that she is essentially wearing. This body is extremely interesting to me. I have never owned something like this. Like, I have a hand-painted prototype already on top of the additional ones now, but it is a hand-painted head for the Toralei doll that I've discussed at length on this channel. But this body is completely hand-painted. So I am being very, very gentle with it. You can see that the joints in the hands are clear as they are unpainted. You can't really keep paint on the joints. And if I were to, if we look at her joints a bit more closely, oh my god, this leg joint is so loose. I'm so nervous about it. But the coolest thing about this body is the use of the darker shadows. As you guys know, Twyla, I do actually have a Twyla in here somewhere. I just have to find her. She was behind me. Twyla was released with bright pink shadows. This is not her original doll. That one's in my bedroom, but it's the same color. And this prototype stands to show us that at some point they were considering darker shadows for Twyla. They just unfortunately did not see a release. So I am very happy to own this body. It's got the shadows. They're gray on this arm. On this arm, the shadows are just gray. So again, that makes me think at some point her shadows were either going to be this dark shade of purple or just straight up gray. Her outfit, I believe, is pretty standard stock stuff. But yeah, the body is fully hand-painted. She does have the chest joint, but it's very stiff. And the clothes are kind of sticking to the body. But yeah, her belt is hand-painted, and we do actually have the rest of her stock in here. Here we have Twyla's earrings, again, another hand-painted piece, and they are a much glossier color, and it's the same with her bracelet. I would really like to put this bracelet on her to have the body be wearing it, but I'm scared. I don't want to break the hands or something. She's got her little Pop-Tart, and this one feels stock to me. I don't know if this one's hand-painted or not. Her backpack definitely is. It is very shiny, and it feels super smooth and hard. It's not squishy. Okay, it's a little squishy, but I don't want to squish it because I don't want to break the paint on it. And this is also shiny. Again, I don't think it's hand-painted. I'm not 100% sure, though. But it looks like also her eye coffin was going to be made of this same very shiny and bright purple. I really like this. I wish that they had used this plastic for her accessories. We also have a hand-painted Dustin, and unfortunately his face is chipping off slightly on this side. This eye is unaffected, but this one is. I don't see any major changes with Dustin, and also it seems like he is made of plastic that has been snapped together. So, very cool. Super interesting. We've also got her sleep mask, which again does have that same glossy and like smoothness to it. Though I do see some paint bubbles, like right there. Oh no, that's just supposed to be there. I thought it was a paint bubble. And also we've got her doorknob hair clip. I think this might be painted as well. Again, it just has the same look to it as the backpack. So I just carefully unwrapped the leg joint and it is glued together, which is fine to me because this is meant to be a display piece. I do want to get this ahead, so I'm going to seek out a regular Creepover Party Twyla head. I was told that it should be fine to attach a new head because the joint up here is fully functional. She just needs a head. Apparently, the way G3 prototypes work, like these hand-painted ones, is that sometimes they are shipped out without heads, and sometimes they just do not arrive to the factories which they are sent to. Or not factories, more like headquarters that they are sent to. This one was displayed internally, and it is super cool to have this. I am really surprised that the owner was allowed to keep this. It's awesome. Alright, so moving on to Twyla, we have our next interesting sample. This is another hand-painted one. It is a Day Out Claudine factory sample. Okay, so I cannot dig my stock Day Out Claudine off of the shelf right now, so you guys are just gonna have to trust me when I make the comparisons that I do. So just like Twyla, this Claudine is on a fully hand-painted body. Her joints don't feel nearly as fragile which is nice. I very much appreciate that they're not as, like, feel like they're about to fall apart like she does. But right away you may notice that her skin tone is a bit different. I would say it's got a more of a red undertone to it. So here is a factory produced Claudine, not hand painted, and there is definitely a very clear skin tone difference between them. This one is warmer and this one has a more cool skin tone. So just that's the first thing that I noticed, the difference in the skin color. The faces are the same. I don't think this doll, some aspects of her face are hand painted actually, like the lip color. You can actually see the old lip color underneath her current one, like it was a pink before. Pretty similar to this doll's lips actually. This doll also features different eye makeup slightly from what was released. I think that's cool. And almost all of her stuff is hand painted. I'd say all of it is. Her jewelry is very much hand painted. She has some chipping at her joints, just as further proof that she has been fully hand painted. And this doll does not feature a chest joint. That's something this release never had. And I suspect that's the reason this doll is fully hand painted like she is. Like for Twyla, it made sense. This was her first doll. Of course, there would be countless, more than one, most likely hand-painted prototypes, plus this one appears to be a test of the color for her shadows. But for this release, the day outline was the first G3 line to not feature any chest articulation. So it makes sense that they would have to make a body without it. So that leads me to believe that this Claudine was created for that purpose, to test everything out, how everything looks together, and also the lack of chest joint. You can actually see what looks like her actual doll's skin tone on some of the joints. It doesn't look clear like Twyla does. So again, that does beg the question why this doll is hand painted at all, but it's still super cool. And I like her quite a bit. She comes with all of her accessories as well. I believe they are also hand painted. Again, they're super glossy. Her glasses especially, like this yellowish gold is not the gold that Mattel typically uses for accessories. So it is hand painted gold. That's the hand-painted color that they use, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. So, yeah, with that, we're gonna set Claudine aside and move on to the grand finale of this video. That's right, we're still going. 5 prototypes, and we're still going on to the 6th and final of the video. And probably for a while. I don't know when I'm gonna get an opportunity like this again. Probably never. So here she is, the final grand finale of this video. She is bringing all of the packaging with her. You guys knew that a Toralei was in this video, but you thought I traded for her. I did not. I bought this with my own money, so I win. I win the guessing game, because you guys were wrong. I traded for these 3 things, and nobody guessed those 3 things. So right away you notice BNIB. Brand new in-box Toralei factory sample. And I feel insane over this. The fact that I get to own a new in-box prototype of my favorite character. And you guys are gonna see why she's so cool as soon as I rip this open. I'm just marveling at it for now. I'm just staring at it. This is the thing I've been the most excited for. Like, the other stuff is awesome. Do not get me wrong. All of this stuff is so cool. But it's my favorite character. It's my favorite character, dude. We're gonna do this. We are going to open this very slowly and carefully, just like I have everything else, but even slower and more careful. So here she is, the crown jewel of this video. My new in-box G3 Toralei prototype. And she is a prototype, not just a sample. Her body is fully hand-painted. You can see that her joints are clear. She's got that glossy sheen on her, and her pet, Sweet Fangs, 100% hand-painted. There's no way this little guy isn't. All of her accessories are. Her phone is hand-painted once again. You can see that the orange is a lot more vibrant and glossy. You can also see some slight chipping on her wrist joint, and she is wrapped in an additional layer of plastic. That's just how she came, the previous owner told me. And this is also a very heavy box. I would attribute that to the fact that the doll inside, again, hand-painted prototype on a clear body, similar to Twyla. So most likely out of the box, the body would feel the same. very heavy and fragile. You know, actually this thing's not that heavy. Her head has to be like some kind of sample or something to be, for the weight to be what it is, because the legs are heavy. That's where most of the weight is coming from with the Twyla body. So yeah, the box is virtually the same to the release doll. The only main difference is down here at the bottom where it says FPO, which means for, I forget what the P means, but it means for P only, and I don't remember what the P means. I think it's like something that means that she was only meant to be displayed in the showroom, but an employee was able to take her home, and she has ended up with me now. So as I was going over every tiny detail with this doll, I actually noticed that her ears are not pierced, and her earrings are in fact glued into place. It's very difficult to see what I'm talking about without a flash camera on, but you're gonna have to trust me. There is glue residue around the earring to keep it in place. So I don't know if that means that this is just a factory head that they never bothered to pierce earring holes into or what, but I should also note that this doll's face is slightly different from the final release. I just want to do that real quick. The final release of Toralei has a slightly raised eyebrow. The other eyebrow is not like that, it is just neutral, you know? Compare that to this doll, who does not have the raised eyebrow at all. It is a very slight, very minor difference, but I still noticed it, because I'm the Toralei guy. I'm her biggest fan. This, I think, is proof of that. Not anything else that I've ever done. Don't look at all that. Honestly, I want to peel this off. Like, I know that that's, like, part of the thing. She does have the proper, like, box plastic underneath. I can't just, like, reach through and touch her, but I just want to peel this off, just because it's kind of getting in the way. Let me know if you guys think I should in the comments. I'm not going to do it in the video, but if I do, it'll be because you guys enabled me to. Okay, I did it actually. Sorry if that like physically pained anyone, but this is my doll that I own and not you. So I can do whatever I want, except take her out of the box because I feel like that's forbidden, so I'm never going to do that. But yeah, now we can have a much clearer look at her. You might actually be able to see the glue on her ear now. There's also a hair inside the box, and I think it is stuck into the glue that I mentioned and is visible. There is also a glue residue on this ear, but there's no earring, which leads me to believe that it fell off. It's nowhere in the box though, it's not in here like rattling around or anything. But yeah, also we have a better look at Sweet Fangs now, and there is 0 pixelation in the eye. Maybe a little, actually. I don't know. Maybe everything but the eyes is hand-painted, but the eyes would have to be hand-painted, right? I feel like they have to be, because the whole thing clearly is. Maybe he's what's so heavy. He's just a big hunk of plastic. No, but the weight is coming from around here. So maybe it is her body. Maybe her body's made of, like, a really heavy material. So now that we've had a look at everything, I may as well go over some additional things that I noticed while I was not filming. The design on the bottoms of Twyla's shoes is actually completely obscured by paint. It's just kind of globbed into place and completely hides the design. Iridescent Draculaura's shoes are 100% hand-painted. There is no doubt about it. I was being unsure before, but after examining all the other hand-painted stuff, the glossiness doesn't lie. Also, I failed to notice that her hair color is different from the final doll. When you compare these two side by side, the prototype's hair leans a bit darker pink than the finals. You can see it most clearly when I put them side by side, but it is the slightest difference in the coloring. This doll also seems to use a notably higher quality poly texture. I'd say it's the treated kind that they used on the original Cleo release that feels really nice and doesn't feel like shit, basically. So that's another thing. Another comparison for the skeptics, this is the sculpted pink compared to the painted pink. So in short, here is everything that I got from this amazing haul. Everything here is a prototype, and if you want to see any specific details, I'll do a follow-up video because I do feel like there's more I could have gone over, but I may have failed to cover all of my bases. I really love this Toralei. Her hair is beautifully curled in this box, and she's gonna stay in here forever. I'm never taking this doll out of the box. Why would I ever do that? She's in the box, that's the whole point. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here because this video ran very long. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, if there's anything you'd like to see more of, like if I get a head for this Twyla and put her together, if you'd like to see that, let me know. Because for now, we need to finish clearing out that shelf and put the dolls on there. That's right, this was the secret project. Prototype shelf. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!